this is Miss Rose. She teaches kindergarten here at Odenville Elementary School, and I'm going to be interviewing her today about how she incorporates technology into her classroom. First, what are some ways that you integrate it into your daily classroom routine?
I think with kindergarten, you are constantly having to be up in front of them, putting on a show, making it fun. And so some ways that I integrate technology are just some fun little songs that we can visit online that have them up and moving around, that are teaching them their letter sounds. So those are some ways, but I also allow them during our center times to be on the computers, be on the iPads, using some programs that are helping them learn as well. I think with the generation that is being brought up, you have to definitely use some of that technology because they're constantly on it, especially at home and things like that. So when we get the chance, I'm letting them be on the iPads, be on the computers, and there is a time when we stop and have to do actual work and things like that. But as far as them learning and things and keeping them engaged, I think that it's very important to have some of this technology to do that. So yeah.
Yes, I'm learning all about that right now.
Good deal.
What are some of the difficulties that you've noticed in trying to incorporate it into your classroom?
Absolutely. So this is my first year of teaching kindergarten, and I had to spend a week taking them into the computer lab, teaching them, what a mouse was, what a computer screen was, because they're so used to those iPads and being in front of them. And so that they're not taking their fingers and touching the screens on the computers, I've had to teach them, this is a mouse and this is how you use the mouse, and you can't poke on the screens, and this is a keyboard and this is how you'll type things in. And so that I've found that to be a difficulty as going from second grade to kindergarten, because it just hasn't, I'm having to teach them every little step. And it's hard at times for them to understand what to do. I think another difficulty in using technology is you never know if it's going to work or not. And so I think that it's important, to always have a backup plan just in case. And also not to promise them, hey, we're going to do center time and you'll be able to use the computers, because sometimes those computers won't work. So, so you will always find difficulties along the way, but I'm thankful for technology and using it within my classroom.
What do you consider to be any of your top apps that you like to use?
So we often use Starfall, the Starfall app, and that's just, right now my kids are learning a lot about letters, identifying letters, naming them, and also being able to sound out those letters and spell words and things like that. And so Starfall just has a good program where they go through, but it also has some fun things on there. So it'll teach them like color words and number words and things like that, but it also has some fun things that ask them questions about themselves. And so it has them answering questions and things regarding themselves. And so I think that that's important, and it's engaging them. My other one is, I really love the app Epic, and it's because it's a huge resource for kids to be able to go on and hear a book being fluently read to them. And that's so important in today's age, especially in the community where we live, because some of my kids come from families that don't really sit down and read a book to them at night, and I read to them in my classroom, but it's just good for them to hear someone fluently reading to them. And Epic has so many books on there. And one thing I also like about Epic is I can specify it to just be for kindergarten, so they're reading books on their level as well. So those are two apps that I definitely have been using within my classroom and have enjoyed using them. So
I like those. I'm going to have to make a note of those. What is your favorite tech tip?
I would say, kind of going back earlier, just making sure that you always have a backup plan. I was talking with you earlier about how even today I had to rearrange my schedule and order of things because it didn't happen the way that I wanted it to. And that's mainly because technology isn't going to always work. The internet goes down, your computer won't turn on. The other day we didn't have electricity.
Oh no.
So for a few hours, and so just being able to on the spot think of something else to do with them. And so like we'll listen to this specific letter song, and me just knowing that letter song because it's part of our morning routine and being able to sing it to them, if technology is down, then that's huge. But especially if you have a specific lesson planned and that technology isn't going to work, always having a backup plan. And like I said, today I had to rearrange my schedule and move things around and go back to it, and it ended up being fine. But you never want that to be the end all be all because it might not work. So just having that.
That's definitely a good teacher tip too.
Yes.
Always be prepared.
Always be prepared, especially with little ones too, because they're waiting for the next thing all the time. And so just having that backup plan and making sure it'll go well and things like that. So
yes. Yeah. What advice would you give to any kind of teacher candidate preparing to teach this new digital generation?
I would say just stay up to date on things. I'm thankful that I've kind of grown up in this generation that does rely on technology so much. But going to workshops, going to professional developments that are going to help you stay up to date on those programs, those apps that kids are using, because you need to know what they're using because you want to use it in your classroom if it's appropriate and age appropriate. So just making sure that you're investing yourself into some of those professional developments and things like that are going to teach you as well. As a teacher, it's important for us also to be lifelong learners, and so I think that would be the advice I would give to any other teacher regarding any area of teaching. Don't just settle with walking into your classroom doing the same thing that you did a year ago. Always change it up, always be on top of things, and always be learning as well. So
thank you so much. You've been
You're
so
welcome.
helpful today.
Thank you.
Thank you.